Imagine this young thug, the man the streets crown Slime King, sitting in an interrogation room for hours, smoking, eating, and telling cops everything they wanted to hear. That's the footage that just leaked, and it's flipping the whole YSL case on its head. Everybody called Gunna the snitch, but the leaked tape might prove the biggest rat in this YSL case was a man running it all along. And now Gunna is using this to destroy Thug's image, even tying him to an Atlanta motor cover-up. So let's get into this leaked Young Thug interrogation tape, because this isn't some quick back and forth with the cops. This was over 2 hours of Thug sitting in custody, calmly talking like he had nothing to hide. Now, this whole thing didn't even start with the YSL case. Thug was originally picked up for some terroristic threats at a shopping mall, but the police made it clear they weren't pressing charges if he just talked to them. And instead of clamming up or asking for a lawyer, Thug agreed to sit down. He wouldn't sign a statement, but he kept answering questions, and that choice alone raised eyebrows. Here's what really stood out. Thug sounded hella comfortable with the cops. Sure, they were playing him and pretending to be his buddy, but he also ordered food, got cigarettes, and even got annoyed at the condiments they brought him. It sounded like he was hanging out at a diner with a bunch of friends and not talking to cops in an interrogation room. Listen to this.
That's mayonnaise.
Mustard, honey.
Oh, I mean mustard, that's what I mean, I'm sorry.
And if you know anything about how rappers move when the feds are watching, this was far from normal. Most people go silent, but Thug treated it like just another business meeting. Then he started dropping names, and that's when things got serious. He mentioned Pee Wee Roscoe, the same guy connected to the infamous 2015 Lil Wayne tour bus shooting. Thug claimed Roscoe used to carry Wayne's drugs and painted him as a type of person who breaks the law on a daily basis.
That fool, I'm like, you shot at somebody, bro? But I don't fucking know, because every day nigga broke a fucking ball. I don't know. I honestly don't know.
But when it came to who actually shot up the bus, Thug backed off fast. He told police, "That wasn't me. I didn't order that. Roscoe acted on his own." Depending on how you see it, that was either Thug being honest or shifting the blame to dodge a possible murder for hire case. Then Birdman's name came up, and Thug didn't hold back. He aired out the tension between Birdman and Lil Wayne, talking about their fallout, the $30 million Wayne was supposedly owed, and even questioning why Wayne was crying over the money in the first place. That's while considering, at the time, people were already calling Thug the new Lil Wayne since Birdman was pushing him as Wayne's replacement.
$70 million, and he owed him $30 million. He gave Drake $20 million, Nicki Minaj $10 million. He thought he had an understanding that he paid out the $100 million.
Thug has taken to social media to push back against the narrative. On X, he wrote, "They didn't play my interrogation video in court cause I helped my broader rat wear." His point was clear. The audio wasn't about betraying anyone, but about helping someone close. Still, fans and critics remain divided. Some see it as hypocritical, especially given his history with Gunna, who's also been accused of snitching. The truth is, this leak highlights the razor-thin line rappers walk in these situations. In a culture where loyalty means everything, even being honest in an interrogation can get twisted into betrayal, especially on the way to the YSL case. And for some, the tape points to something bigger, a possible murder cover-up with Thug's name written all over it. That's where the story gets darker. Young Thug's case has never just been about music or one isolated crime. It's about a decade-long trail of violence tied to YSL, murders, drug trafficking, armed robberies, and witness intimidation, all while keeping up the record label front. When the 2022 indictment dropped, 28 people connected to YSL were hit with charges designed to dismantle the gang's power. Prosecutors painted Thug as a co-founder and leader, calling him the driving force from Cleveland Avenue to other corners of Atlanta. The human cost became brutally clear on May 18, 2024. A mistaken identity led to the death of 21-year-old Naja Sapphire Cox, a young mother, while her 2-year-old child watched it happen. Jamal Baker, a YSL member, and 2 others sprayed more than 30 bullets into a car they thought carried rivals. Instead, it held Naja and her baby. The DA's office described how the child sat there as his mom bled out, an innocent life shattered by gang violence. Investigators traced the shooting back to tension spark when Lil Baby filmed a music video in the wrong neighborhood. Baker ended up with life without parole plus 65 years, while his co-defendants still await trial. This wasn't just another headline. It showed how YSL's operations ripped families apart and dragged innocent people into crossfire. Ironically, all this could boost Gunna's image. 4 years. Thug was seen as the untouchable OG, while Gunna got labeled weak, someone who folded under pressure. But with YSL's violent side now center stage, Gunna can quietly flip the script, presenting himself as loyal but smart, streetwise but not reckless. If his camp plays it right, interviews, social posts, and music can frame him as someone who survived the storm without blood on his hands. The message is simple. Being too close to the action is dangerous, and Gunna's distance wasn't weakness, it was wisdom. Back in late 2022, Gunna's Alfred plea sealed his reputation. For those unfamiliar, it's when you don't admit guilt but acknowledge the evidence could convict you. It was a legal survival move. But in the streets and in hip-hop, nuance gets lost. The clip of him saying yes instantly became a scarlet letter. Boosie and others called him out. Social media clowned him with memes, and suddenly he was branded the face of snitching, even though he never testified against anyone. The reality? His plea was strategic. It cut down his jail time, kept him out of the trial's spotlight, and let him get back to his life and music. And it worked. While Thug sat locked up, dealing with harsh conditions, weight gain, and health struggles, Gunna walked free and went straight back to work. That contrast fueled debates, loyalty versus survival, street code versus legal savvy. And here's the kicker, multiple YSL members took pleas too, but Gunna caught the worst backlash. Why? Because in hip-hop culture, even acknowledging a gang's existence is seen as betrayal. Meanwhile, Thug, the so-called real one, stayed stuck, losing ground both personally and professionally. Fans noticed the irony. Gunna, branded a snitch, was thriving, while Thug was fading. Then the leaked interrogation audio dropped, showing Thug calm, even comfortable, while dropping names. Suddenly, the double standard was undeniable. One man dragged for a courtroom admission, another questioned for cozying up to cops. It exposed just how messy the line between loyalty and survival really is. Gunna's team knows this, and every move since his plea has been about controlling the narrative. Social media, interviews, even lyrics, all reinforcing the idea that he survived without betraying anyone. He played the system smart, and that's something some fans respect, even if others refuse to let it go. In the long run, it positions him as careful, calculating, and adaptable, qualities that matter just as much as street credibility when you're navigating the fallout of a RICO case. And now, supporters are flipping the questions back on Thug. If it's a real one, why is he the one struggling more? Why did Gunna, who walked free, catch the most heat, while others, including Thug, avoided the same public backlash? There aren't easy answers, but the tension keeps the saga alive. Fans debate it daily, artists throw shots in their lyrics, and the YSL story keeps unfolding across courtrooms, the streets, and the music itself. That in the end, Gunna's yes moment is bigger than a meme. It's a symbol of survival under pressure, a flag